Jesus Christ, really?
Don't forget to become a member of UnrealEntGaming's Patreon for exclusive manga content and early access. Isn't that right, Seth?
I already joined his Patreon today. Tons of great stuff on there, actually. But did you really have to blow up the city?
Yes.
Blew up the domino. You blew up the dominoes and you're laughing. Do you realize the f***ing crisis here?
And you will be next. Unless you subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications right now.
Or else what? You'll aggressively scream another man's name for several hours?
Kakarot! Kakarot!
Well, I just knew that something like this was going to happen, especially now after encountering a situation involving Lord Beerus that defies expectations. And while surprising, such events are not beyond the realm of cosmic objection. In addition, there is a noticeable shift in the cosmic winds that I am now able to feel. A series of anomalies, each distinct and powerful, are heading towards Beerus's planet here in Universe 7, suggesting that we are on the cusp of a substantial encounter, as this convergence could very well redefine the dynamics of the entire multiverse as we know it.
Our story continues now during the midst of battle as Universe 13's God of Destruction Rino looks to finally put an end to Universe 7's God of Destruction Beerus, as with Beerus being shown attempting to do his best in tapping into a deeper power with Rino being shown chasing after him was when Goku then went on to respond, "I'm starting to get a really bad feeling about this, Whis. Is it really possible for Lord Beerus to tap into and unlock more of his dormant power in time to stop Lord Rino? As I'm starting to worry that he might not be able to keep up with Lord Rino's pace here," with Whis responding, "While I hold the utmost respect and admiration for Lord Beerus for all that he's done, to be quite honest with you here, Goku, Lord Beerus, for all of his might, has not been at the pinnacle of his power for quite some time now. His recent years have been more about culinary delights than divine might," Whis continues, "and against a resurrected God of Destruction like Lord Rino, who has likely been honing his power after fighting you, would only serve as having the greatest advantage in this battle after all, and trust me, my concerns mirror yours, Goku, but Lord Beerus, despite his immense power, has grown somewhat complacent, and although I will continue to stand with Lord Beerus until the bitter end, maybe this was indeed needed in order for it to be the wake-up call that's been long overdue," Whis continues. "The old guard, especially way back when they were all still around before they were erased, were always known for taking their jobs as destroyers much more seriously than the current 12," Whis adds, meaning these gods who were recently resurrected were always known to have strived for more rather than just lay around all day. In which within that very moment now, from out of nowhere, before Beerus even had the opportunity to draw forward his dormant power onto the surface, was when Universe 13's God of Destruction Rino was from that point then shown capitalizing in uppercutting Beerus in the face, as Rino from that point then went on to respond, "You have no idea on how long I've waited to see this day through, Beerus. You were once a mighty force to be feared, and now you are nothing more than a shell of what you once were, Destroyer. You are an utter disappointment to your once fearsome name, Beerus, for this fight is over." In which with Universe 13's Rino being shown double axe handling Beerus right back down onto the ground in asserting his dominance over him was when Goku then went on to shout, "Oh no, this is really bad. I never would have expected for something like this to ever happen, especially given Lord Beerus' reputation as just being one of the strongest gods of destruction until, well, these guys just suddenly showed up from out of nowhere," as Angel Pinota then went on to chime in, "Well, I tried warning you that this would happen, didn't I, Whis? And it's honestly quite pitiful since this clearly isn't the same Lord Beerus that I remember back when he was in his prime, but I guess fate had intended to have other plans for Lord Beerus. Well, although I was never one to underestimate Lord Rino's sheer determination in wanting to break their long-standing record in finding out which destroyer was truly the mightiest between them," Whis responds, "but I find it rather strange that that you would go and downplay Lord Beerus like this, sister, with Angel Pinota responding, "And are you saying that because you know that what I said was proven to be true, Whis? Or are you simply trying to cover up for your God of Destruction's laziness?" With Whis responding, "I wouldn't go that far if I were you, sister, because you and I both know that if Lord Beerus were to regain his focus in taking his training seriously as he should, then Lord Rino wouldn't stand a chance, and that's a fact, Pinota," to which as Beerus was then shown on the ground beaten and injured, with Beerus now being shown having to be immobilized and barely even being shown having to sit back up, was when Beerus then went on to utter, I wasn't able to do it. Why wasn't I able to ascend to the levels which I was able to use in battle before? How could I have allowed myself to get like this? I must fight back. I know that I'm stronger than this. Damn you, Rino. You knew what you were doing, but just you wait until I'm able to stand back up again. Then I'll show you, for I refuse to let this be how my legacy is. But then, it was only from out of nowhere above Beerus, as God of Destruction Rino was shown having to make his way down and slamming into Beerus' chest, was when Rino then went on to respond, "Your reign concludes here, Beerus. And as the tiebreaker, I hereby now ascend as the superior God of Destruction between us. And so now admit your defeat and vacate your position and say that you give up, because if you don't, then I will continue to punish you until you surrender. For you and I both know that you can't continue to fight like this for much longer, Beerus. And so now face it, you are no longer what you once were, as you lie beneath my feet, defeated and broken. Gone is the vicious god that I once rivaled and replaced by this pitiful shell of his former glory. Now say it, Beerus. Save yourself the humiliation and admit that you are done. You, along with Belmod and Iwan, Champa and Jin, are all the same. You've all grown lazy during our absence, as both you, along with the rest of them, should already remember what the former guard was all about, and now that we're back, now that I'm back, I want you to say it, Beerus. Give up. You may have maintained your edge over me by immediately going back to train, Beerus utters, but understand that this was not my best, for I was unprepared in finding myself in such a situation. And even while I'm no longer in my prime, you and I both know that back in my heyday, you wouldn't have stood a chance against me, and you know it. For I was able to beat you then, and I will somehow find a way to go and beat you now, just like I once did, and I will do whatever it takes, even if it means that I have to do it with a broken body. Ah, no, don't, Goku. Whis went on to quickly stop Goku from intervening in Beerus' battle. And I empathize with your frustration, as I know that you consider Lord Beerus your friend, but this is not your place, nor is it the time, Whis continues. This is between two destroyers who, among many that Beerus had encountered, have a very long score to settle, and so let them settle it, Whis adds. And if anything, you should know that sometimes the taste of defeat is often the greatest teacher and motivating factor that can reignite one's passion once again. Now let them be, for it is not our place to get involved. To which, as the God of Destruction Rino was from that point then shown yelling at Beerus, was when Rino then went on to shout, "Enough with these games, Beerus. Now say that you give up right now, or I am going to go and break every bone in your scrawny little fragile body, and I won't say it again, Destroyer. You know me better than anyone to know that I'll do it, and so this is going to be the last time that I'm going to tell you. Surrender now, or you will be destroyed, Beerus." As a struggling Beerus then went on to utter, "Curse you, Rino. I can't move. Too much pressure. I give up." Yes, at long last, Destroyer, I win. Let our record speak for itself, for on this day you are left broken and humiliated. I am now the stronger Destroyer between us, Rino went on to then continue, as there is no other warrior, whether it be a god or a mortal, who can topple me. And so now don't ever dream of running your mouth to me or asserting your position position as being the strongest god ever again. But then, it was only now, shockingly enough to everyone's surprise, on Rino's very shoulder, where shockingly enough, Universe 15's God of Destruction Gardox was then shown having to show up, with Rino having to question, "What the? And just where in the hell did you decide to suddenly come from, Gardox? What business do you have by being here, Destroyer? Now speak," with Gardox responding, "You didn't truly think that I'd miss out on seeing two gods of destruction fight for supremacy now, did you? And perhaps it may have been a long time since I cleaned my ears out, but did I just hear you say that you are now the strongest god of destruction, Rino? Now that's very funny. Hey, wait a second, am I seeing things, or is that little thing that's sitting on Lord Rino's shoulder there another one of those resurrected gods of destruction like both Lord Cobris and Lord Rino? What is he? He's so tiny," with Whis responding, "Oh my, well it actually is, for he is the god of destruction of Universe 15 that goes by the name Gardox. How very interesting, but I wonder as to why he is here and why now." Well, this is certainly unexpected, with Gardox being shown leaping off of Rino's shoulder, with Rino responding, "Thrall, don't push your luck here, Goblin, and unless you came here to lay claim over Beerus before me, then you are already too late, for he's been beaten, and so now unless you came here looking for a fight, then I demand to know the reasons as to why you are here, Gardox," with Gardox responding, "Oh, calm your nerves before you blow another blood vessel, Destroyer. I just so happened to have been around in the neighborhood and wanted to drop by and see what all the fuss was about, and especially after having to overhear that there was going to be a clash between two gods of destruction, which, speaking of, well, oh well, it's been a very long time since I saw that ugly mug of yours, Champa, and you certainly aren't looking too good either. Rino here sure went and did a number on you during your battle now, didn't he? It's hilarious. Oh, that's not Lord Champa, you little wrinkly buffoon. That's his brother Beerus from the 7th universe, with Gardox responding, "Oh yeah, that's right. Well, what's the difference? Champa, Beerus, they're all the same to me. Hey, wake up, kitty, for you have company waiting. Hey, yoo-hoo, wake up, scrawny Champa, for you have guests that are just dying to see you again. You didn't think that I'd forget about you before me and my universe were erased, did you? What happened to you, skinny Champa? You were once so proud and so strong, and now you're as quiet as a mouse, little kitty. Now what was it that I heard you say about me before I was erased? Oh, that's right. And I quote, better that dirty little goblin in his universe than me and mine. Is that right? Well, surprise! Well, I should have known that the circus would roll into town today, Angel Pinota went on to chime in. But then again, you were never really known for letting anyone know ahead of time on when or where you'd be dropping in. But it's been far too long now, hasn't it, little brother? And so what brings you here on Lord Beerus's planet? With Angel 15's Angel Vodko having to respond, "Still as snobby as I remember you being after all of these years of remaining inactive, huh? It's been a long time indeed, sister, for you should know that the reason as to why we are here is because Lord Gardox has some unfinished business to settle with Lord Beerus, after all, in which just when everyone thought that things couldn't get any more bizarre than what they were was when from out of nowhere yet again another god of destruction, this time the god of destruction of Universe 16 that went by the name of Ferrix, was shown walking on by. As the god of destruction Ferrix then went on to chime in, "The more time you destroyers continue to waste by arguing amongst yourselves, the less likely of a chance you will have in doing what you came here to accomplish. But even now, with my very own eyes, I still can't seem to believe it," Ferrix continues. "The once so-called mighty Lord Beerus is now left groveling on the ground with nothing to show for his title," as Goku went on to then utter, "Wait, and now there's another god of destruction here too? And this one here is almost just as massive as Lord Rino as well. Only he's definitely more scary looking than Lord Gardox and Lord Rino. Wait, what?" In which, in the same moment as Goku went on to turn his head and noticing yet another god of destruction now seemingly having to eat all of Beerus's food, was when this god of destruction, who was the god of destruction of Universe 17 that went by the name of Grizzlord, then went on to respond, "I didn't know that after all these years of all the gods of destruction who are spread throughout the cosmos, that Beerus would be the one to have the most delicious pieces of food. This is both absurd and surprising. surprising, with Goku having to utter, "No way! Not another one!" And this one's massive, with Grizzler having to continue, "I can't help but remember the last time that Beerus had anything tasty here on his planet, but it seems as though times have certainly changed now, haven't they? Or maybe not. But it seems as though times have certainly changed now, haven't they? Or maybe not, since all Beerus ever liked to do was go and run that big fat mouth of his, but I didn't hear him yapping around over there, and so whatever this was is something that I must have access to again, for I desire more." Hey, you're another one of those resurrected gods of destruction that were recently brought back, aren't you? Well, hey there, my name is I could care less about what your name is, mortal, for I would turn around and pay attention if I were you. To which Grizzler did have a point, because standing behind both Broly and Goku was Universe 18's gigantic god of destruction that went by the name of Primos, as Primos went on to then respond, "Did Beerus actually approve and allow for mortals such as these two to be granted access to roam freely on sacred ground? What a disgrace." "You're kidding, right? He's gotta be the biggest one of them all," Goku went on to then utter. "So, you're meaning to tell me that you're a god of destruction too? So that must mean that you're the last one then, aren't you?" He in fact is actually, Whis went on to then quickly respond, "For this is Universe 18's god of destruction Primos, who I haven't seen in millions of years, as I almost forgot about how massive he was myself, but this is him nevertheless, as it is very good to see you again." To which, as Primos was then shown leaning on down by addressing Goku, when Primos then went on to respond, "What I want to know is I wonder on why Beerus would go and have someone as small and scrawny looking as you here on his planet like this. You certainly aren't his friend, so I wonder what business any of you mortals have by being here. You look a bit pale there, little man. What's wrong? Are you scared? Because you should be. But you, on the other hand, are the opposite of your little friend over here," Primos went on to address Broly. "What's wrong? Are you angry, mortal? Well, good, because I've been itching for a fight for a very long time now, and guess what else? Even if you had the nerve to come and do something about me being here, you still wouldn't last very long, because I'd go and break you in half before you even had the chance to try. But if you're feeling lucky then, big guy, then why don't you go and try to take a swing and watch me break that arm in half, because there is no mortal, and I mean no mortal, whether they're in my universe, Beerus's universe, or any other universe, that could ever come close in holding a candle to me. So you will either take a knee and acknowledge me, or try and take a shot and watch me break you in half. The choice is yours, mortals." To which, as Goku was trying to do his best in calming Broly down, was when Goku then went on to respond, "Broly, no! Just try and calm down. Don't listen to whatever it is that he is saying, because you'll only make things worse if you go and lose control. So please try and calm down," with Broly having to respond, "I don't like this one, Kakarot. Don't waste your time with those puny little mortals and come take a look at what we have here," Primos, Grizzler went on to respond, "for it looks like Beerus here was beaten to a pulp by the hands of Rino, because he's barely standing. So there finally came a day where someone went and finally shut Beerus's big flappy mouth up, now did they?" Primos questions. "Well, it's about damn time." To which, as Broly was then shown losing more and more of his control, was when Broly went on to then utter, "Oh, let me go, Kakarot." "Broly, don't! This is not the time nor the place to be doing this. I'm telling you, just please try and calm down. This wouldn't be the right call to make if we were to fight them." To which, as Primos was then shown beating his chest, was when it was obvious enough that Universe 18's God of Destruction was now looking for a fight, as Primos then went on to continue, "That's right, do as he says and let him go. Do as he says, so that way I can go and break one of Beerus's jesters, just like Rino had broken Beerus." But then, it was from out of nowhere once again, to the shock of everybody that was there, where the Grand Priest was then shown having to show up from out of nowhere, with the Grand Priest then being shown responding, "Well, I'm sorry for the sudden interruption, but there certainly wouldn't happen to be any sort of problem here that warrants my attention now, does it? Or did I just happen to come in between something?" With Primos uttering, "That voice, can it really be? It's the Grand Priest." "You are doing neither, Grand Minister," the Destroyer Ferrex went on to then respond, "for we had just arrived shortly before you just did, so we humbly welcome you here, Great One, with Grizzlor having to chime in, and I second that, Grand Minister, for we just happened to have overheard that Lord Rino was going to fight Lord Beerus, so we just wanted to come and see what the result between them were after all. Which, speaking of, just look at how washed up you are, Beerus. You can barely move, and that was only just Lord Rino. Now imagine what the rest of us would have done. You didn't think that we'd sit this one out and not come and pay you a visit, did you? For you have a lot to own up for, and this was only just the beginning, with Beerus having to utter, What are you all doing here? Well, greetings, fellow angels and gods of destruction, the Grand Priest went on to announce, as it fills me with immense joy to see you all here, for it is not that often that we convene in such a matter, but since I saw that you are all coming here, I thought I'd come here as well, for today marks a very special occasion. I have an announcement of great significance that I would like to share with you all here today, as this just so happens to come straight down from the Omni Kings themselves, the Grand Priest continues, as your presence here signifies the gravity of such a moment, as I will go and inform the remaining guard of such things, once of course my business is finished with you all here. Oh, consider yourselves lucky that the Grand Priest is here, Primos went on to address both Goku and Broly by telling them, because if he had shown up 5 seconds after, then I would have broken you both in half, especially the bigger one. I won't forget about this, Primos went on to address Broly by then walking off. So you've been warned far ahead of time, mortals. For you to even look in my direction and not acknowledge me is something that I'll keep in mind, especially for the bigger one. For next time, I can promise the both of you that you will not be so lucky like you just were ever again. So mark my words that I will see you both. Well, hello there, Whis, the Grand Priest went on to then chime back in, and Goku. It's so very good to see you once again, for it's been a very long time since I did. And being that you are here, the timing for this couldn't be any more perfect. For you and your fellow Saiyan friend over here are going to be the first mortals to bear witness to such an event, and as I would like for the both of you to remain here as the announcement is made, to which it was only right then and there now, during that moment, where the Beyond Dragon Ball Super story of the resurrected fallen gods of destruction, the Universe 14 Saga Manga Chapter number 5 special, then comes to a close.
Actually, I'll go and take it from here, as I do want to go as far as to address something with all of our dear viewers at the moment. As before I go and give you the following information, if you aren't already a member of Unreal's Patreon community, then you are truly missing out on so much without you even knowing. As not only is the next episode already on the page, but if you want to support all of the content that you see and gain access to tons of exclusives along the way, then we do encourage for you all to become members of our Patreon community today, for we will link it all down in the description box below and pinned comment section. Now, Beerus' defeat at the hands of Rino highlights an important aspect of being a god of destruction, the necessity of consistent training and self-improvement. Lord Beerus, despite his innate strength, has not engaged in regular training as diligently as he might have. Lord Rino, recognizing the value of constant refinement, has kept his destructive powers well honed, as this difference in their preparation and dedication was clearly reflected in their battle's outcome. There underscores a crucial point. Staying consistent in one's training is key to maintaining supremacy as a god of destruction. Lord Beerus, though a formidable force, has not adhered to a rigorous training schedule. On the other hand, Lord Rino has consistently worked on perfecting his powers after losing to Goku and learning from past mistakes. This dedication to continual self-improvement gave Lord Rino the upper hand in their confrontation, at least for now. Do not count Lord Beerus out just yet, because you have no idea on what Unreal has in store for you all very soon. So we hope you all enjoyed, as we will see you all on Patreon and in the next video. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Hello! Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi!
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.